Welcome, everybody, to the inaugural episode of Whiskey Trek. I'm your captain, and everyone on the panel will introduce themselves, and then we'll go through. It's going to be a nice casual stream, our inaugural episode. We're pretty much just going to talk about how we got into Star Trek, what we like about Star Trek, what our favourite shows are, etc., and then we'll do a bit of a show and tell as well. And I've got some parcels here I haven't opened recently, so I need to open them up so we can have a look at them together. So I'll pass it over to our first officer, Commander Kyoko.
Oh, God. Hello. Let's see. I guess the best thing I can start with is that my parents' wedding toast was live long and prosper. So I was pretty much brought into all this before I had any choice whatsoever. And I pretty much grew up watching The Next Generation. I think that's how it all started for me. Nothing crazy, but that's most of it. And then I've just been watching all of it ever since, as much as I can anyway.
Including post-2009?
Not really. Like all the new movies, I haven't watched all of them. But everything else I pretty much tried to keep up on as best I could.
Yep. Chief!
Who's next?
Come on, Chief.
Which chief? We almost all are.
He's having problems. Yeah. Science officer.
Oh, that's me. Hi, Audrina, Chief Commander Science Officer.
How did you get into Star Trek? What's your favorite episode or series? And yeah,
I got into it because my dad was really into it when I was a kid. So like, you know, we would, if we were on a road trip or whatever, we would play that he was the helmsman, and I'd like fake push buttons and stuff and whatever, and I'd always be Data. So I'd say Next Generation was probably my favorite, but Spock is my all-time favorite. So, but yeah.
Have you watched, and if you have watched, do you like post 2009? So like Kurtzman Trek and the Kelvin timeline movies?
I watched them. They're definitely not my favorite, but they're okay. Like, I was excited to see Star Trek kind of get into a more popular, all around the world. But But I don't think they're that. They differ a bit from like that Star Trek feel. Yeah.
I have to totally agree. We'll dive into that in a fellow. Other people in a following episode, we'll dive right into the post-2009 Kurtzman Kelvin timeline. I have some pretty strong opinions about it myself. I personally don't think they should be even called Star Trek. It's an abomination to the Gene Roddenberry's vision, but anyway, we'll get into that in another episode. So, Chief, do we have your communication subroutine working now?
JD Bourbon Approach.
JD Bourbon Approach, what was that?
I was saying
JD just popped in.
Right.
Yep, it's the computer voice.
Right. Okay.
Chief?
All right, so Chief.
Broken.
Good day. Jim Morris.
There we go. Yeah.
I think you have muted. No, I don't have you muted. I think that's communications your end. All right, who's next?
On the list.
Engineer works out his engineering.
On the list, that would be me, Officer Lieutenant Commander Gray, Chief of Communications and Linguistics. I also deal with any of the paperwork that the other officers don't wish to do, and their underlings are too busy having extra limbs surgically removed due to, illegal experimentation.
And other appendages.
All the appendages. I don't really have a favorite Star Trek series yet. I do really enjoy Next Generation. I'm trying to get into Discovery. I think it's just too modern from what I know, because my mother was born during the creation of Star Trek. So it's just kind of all I've really known. I don't really do the Star Wars thing because I haven't really known any different. My partner's last name is Kirk. My nephew's name is James Kirk. My son's name is Tiberius Kirk.
Okay, so I'd say your favourite captain would be Mr. Kirk.
My favorite captain is Chris Pine.
Okay, well, I'll leave that one there.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah,
I'm very shallow. Don't judge me.
it's fine. It's fine.
Fine.
He's
It's
not a bad-looking man.
He's better looking than Shatner.
Yeah. Chief.
Hello.
Are we ever going to get out of
Oh.
space? Oh, we.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yep.
You're
Sorry,
right.
so a few loose ends down here in engineering. Damn trainees. So
Your name, rank,
grew
and
up with the
what's got you into
name.
Star Trek, and what's it? Yeah.
Jim, I'm the chief engineer, and I grew up with the Next Generation. I actually remember being really upset because I don't know what I did. I probably didn't clean my room or do my homework, but I got grounded from watching the last episode of that series. Like literally, I was sneaking out into the kitchen to watch it. And we go back to your room. But my earliest Star Trek memory is actually Spock. Because someone had the TV on, it was
Okay.
the original series, and I see this dude with the pointy ears. Hooked.
Yep. Sweet.
And as
Next.
far as the
Oh, and the question I have to ask you: post 2009, have you watched any of the Kelvin?
I thought the first movie was good. I actually have the little ship case for the Blu-ray.
Yep.
The next one's stuck. I haven't seen the third one, and as far as the TV stuff goes, I've watched about half of Picard and I think 2 episodes of Lower Decks. I liked Lower Decks. I didn't care for anything else that I've seen.
Yep. Next.
Today. Whiskey Mountains.
Who's next? Don't be shy.
Next would be Chief of Tactical.
Oh, Lord Explode, where is he?
If we don't have tactical, it would be security. So that would be Jay.
Yep, Chief of Security. What got you into Star Trek, and what's your favourite shows? And then the post question: have you watched Kurtzman, Trek, and the movies? And what do you think of it?
You're getting my answer on the Kelvin timeline. But so I grew up in the original series with my daddy and sister. I was a kid when Ashton came out, and that's where I came on board.
All right. Is anyone having communications issues?
I am.
Yep.
I can make it out, but it's very choppy.
Having communication
Yeah, very
issues.
choppy
Issues
and
are on our end. Issues are on tactical end.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Next person. Before we get those issues sorted.
Well, we get the issue sorted with, no, that was with security. We're now chief medical.
Where is Commander Broad Horizon, formerly known as Commander Schlong?
Today.
So he's not in the house.
No.
I'll have to
Not in the house.
He was having a few
so-
sentinels earlier, so
All right, so head nurse and mess officer, Lieutenant Commander Fallacy, which would be William.
yep,
Not here either.
not here.
I know he jumped into chat earlier because not Siri mentioned him.
Yep.
So after that would be helm and navigation and some coats.
Where is Ensign? I don't see Ensign here either.
So chief of
Yeah,
operations
standing up
officer,
for him. I did see that. Who's left?
Donald Rance.
Donald.
My favorite Canadian is also not here.
Yeah. I think I broke in because I was talking about a whiskey that he couldn't get and he's been frothing over, so
I know he consumed an excessive amount of beverages there last night, and didn't get to bed
Yeah.
until the AM.
I do know the amenities on this
Yeah.
starbase are pretty good for us. The shore leave is doing us all too much fun and frivolity is really occurring.
So we have
All right, is anyone left?
crewman FPV for electrician.
Is he still in chat? I don't think so.
Double check. Crewman Vecchia, our distiller and builder.
Oh, that's me.
Yep. What got you into Star Trek, and what's your favorite series? And what do you think of post 2009 Star Trek?
Well, to be honest, I'm a complete total newbie. You guys got me into Star Trek. I've just been, looking up things about it, and I just stumbled into it.
Tim Evans.
So you're a new species we've encountered, and
yeah, exactly,
we're about to mold you into a prime example of Starfleet.
No, exactly, yeah. Do what you will. Do what you will with me.
Okay, we'll mold you in the correct light of Starfleet personnel.
Right, I'm still going to build those jumbucks, so.
And last we have our Commissioner of Chaos, Ari Fernandez, signing in for he's a 4th year cadet. He got special leave from the academy to be with us. He is head of the Biological Sciences Research and Discovery.
Hello.
Okay, so introduce yourself. What got you into Star Trek, and what's your favorite series, and what do you think of post 2009 Star Trek?
Well, what got me into Star Trek was probably high school, messing around with friends, and I'm gonna go for a long throwback and say Deep Space Nine, because I don't know. I thought that was probably my favorite, and it's kind of what sparked sci-fi love.
All right, sounds like we got some more
audio a little bit
I've got all that. Sounds
more communication
like robot
issues.
talk, yeah.
Yep.
Libation.
And I have seen that our tactical officer is now in the chat, so he needs to put in. I don't think he's got his camera sorted out. He could come in and just use voice, but I don't know if he. Do you have your stuff sorted out, Mr. Tactical? I don't think that's. Anyway, while he's trying to get that sorted out, I suppose I better talk about myself. So, I'm Captain General Osiris, so I'm from the Klingon Empire, but I'm now a member of Starfleet, and I'm the captain of this fine vessel. So we're currently at Starbase, and we'll be going on some journeys very shortly once we've got our refit underway and it's completed. Personally, Star Trek has been a part of my life as long as I can remember. I think I was probably about 5 or 6 years old in like 1980, and I distinctly remember my mum watching a rerun of the original series, and I remember seeing the red shirts on the screen, and I thought it was a pretty cool show with the fake boulders and cool aliens and rubber suits and stuff, and I've been hooked ever since. Pretty much grew up with the Next Generation. I was really fortunate in school that my English teacher, when I was in the first couple of years of high school, he was a diehard Star Trek fan, and he had one of his relatives back in the UK. He was able to get the DVDs, tapes from the recordings, and ship them back to
nerds.
All right.
Mike. He would bring those tapes back, and we'd get to watch it in a double lesson. We'd get to watch Star Trek, so I got to see them before they aired on TV in Australia. And it was really cool because half of the class was absolutely enthralled and thought it was the coolest thing ever, and the other side thought it was the worst thing ever, and they completely hated it. But I thought it was so cool to be able to watch the Next Generation episodes before they came out. And then Deep Space Nine came out. Big fan of that. Grew to love that. Supported the campaign for the documentary, and now the Voyager one's coming out. I slowly came to like Voyager. Enterprise, I was pretty bummed out when it first came out, and then when it got towards the end, it started getting really good, and then bloody Mendes decided to destroy it, and that's what's ruined Star Trek since. Personally, I think 2009 Star Trek, I was kind of excited about the prequel movie, and then I watched it, and there was a few things that I thought were pretty cool about it, but It was way too flashbang, gung-ho. There was not enough cerebral in it. It was all flashy lights and typical J.J. Abrams crap. And the one thing that really bugged me is they're building the Enterprise on freaking Earth. I'm like, what the hell? That just hurts my brain. But other than that, Discovery, ugh, I want to, even saying that word makes me want to brush my teeth and consume copious amounts of alcohol to try and forget about it, and I will not talk about the other stuff that's come out.
Brush your teeth with Jack Daniels.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's something. Yeah, speaking of drinks, I need a drink.
Yeah, I reckon.
And we'll hear a word from our sponsor.
You said you had some additional information. I made an error in my computations. Oh, this could be an historic occasion.
So, for my first bit of show and tell, I want to show this cool piece of memorabilia that my fine, lovely wife of my better half, she gave me this for, I think it was a birthday gift a few years back. I freaking love it. It is the trifecta from the original series on the bridge, and when you press the button you get all these cool sayings from the original series, and his chair actually lights up as well, and I just freaking love it. And the batteries lasted for years. It's so freaking awesome. So what's everyone else drinking? I'm going to have Strathmill 12 that I've recently acquired from Tenford.
That's right. It's called Whiskey Trek for a reason.
Exactly.
Or Island 9.
Oh, nice.
Water at the
Anyone
moment.
else having a bevy? Commander Grey?
I'm starting with some beer.
I know it's a bit early for you guys.
Um,
Some beer.
It's a day off.
for me, it's just Space American Oak, the Auckland. I just like saying
Nice.
it.
I see some tea. It's Imperial
I'm
Stout.
pretending it's tea. It's really Cafe con leche, but I'll pretend it's tea.
It'll do. Is it
Perfect
tea
type.
or grey hot? Yeah. Nice. So has anyone got any show and tell to show off? Some cool memorabilia, some of their favourite Star Trek trinkets? Nobody? Really? You gotta have something.
I guess I can show this
I've
off.
got tons of stuff. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool. So what was that? Did you say that was a box set?
So what this was the 2009 movie, the prequel reboot, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
There was a limited edition. I think it came out at Target. There were two versions. There was a DVD version and a Blu-ray version, and they came in this Enterprise case. And if I remember how to open it, the discs are inside.
Oh,
that's sick.
It's really cool,
I
actually.
love it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the base
That is-
broke.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my brother to 3D print something, but he normally would stand on a base like this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that I
have to look
actually
for
want
it.
that now. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
You can find it on eBay, but
that is
it's
so
not cheap.
cool. Well, since it's Whiskey Trek, my favourite hit flask. We just got the Delta.
I have
on
the
it.
same flask.
Absolutely.
I have.
Oh, you've got the same one? I love this. You got it from ThinkGeek.com
Yeah.
before they closed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
that's where I got this
forgot to grab
shirt,
that.
and I got a few other shit. Oh, nice.
Nice,
That is
nice.
nice.
Nice, number one. That's sweet. Yeah. That is sweet.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And you people have all probably seen. So these are from Eagle Mouse. I've been collecting all of the Star Trek stuff from Eagle Moss. So these are the bust figurines they brought out recently. I've been collecting all of the ships, all of the comics. Yeah, really nice figurines. They start there. But
I
do
just grabbed
have
this.
a bunch.
I got this on
Is it-
ThinkGeek also, or actually when I attended the academy. This is my Starfleet Academy jacket that I freaking love.
Oh, nice.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
it's like the front of it. So
I so miss
it's pretty
these.
fun
This
because
is- Yeah,
I don't think
this
people
actually came
realize.
from
Like I wear it all the
ThinkGeek,
time, but people don't realize. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
miss
this came from
ThinkGeek.
ThinkGeek, and I got a bunch of other little, like I've got a little keyring phaser and other cool little things like that. It came from Think King stuff. Oh, I've got a sexy pocket watch. I have to grab that. Someone else show and tell.
Oh god, the
Which
captain
is
left the
Commander
bridge.
Commander Gray, that headset is. Commander Gray, that headset is awesome.
Thank you. it's Diva's.
I was going to ask what. Yeah, I was going to ask what that is.
Seems very appropriate.
Diva 1, bad guy 0.
I thought so too. Oh.
It's so cool. I like it. No, I can't. I think I put it away, but it's. I think I actually got it from. It's not from. Yeah, he's still broken up a little bit. I think it's from. It wasn't from Eagle Moss. It's from those guys that do real. They used to do the plates and knives and stuff. Diamond. I think it was Diamond. Maybe Diamond Collectibles. Anyway, they brought out this really nice old-fashioned pocket watch with the gold chain and everything. It's so sexy. I'll have to find it. But has anyone been collecting the Star Trek Eagle Moss stuff? Like the comic series and the model ships? Come on, anyone?
Oops.
I know
I've
nothing.
lost count how many years I've
Apparently.
actually been collecting these things. Oh, there we go. Nice. So I'm up to like 120 of these so far. So I've got some of the original comics from back in the day, but
That's
Eagle
really
Moss brought
cool.
out these with cooperation with IDW. And when you more line them up, it's got this awesome graphic as it builds out with all the ships and stuff. It's super, super cool.
Okay,
I love
so
There's another one.
our head nurse and mess officer has sent in his apologies. I just got a message from him letting me know he did think he could join from his mobile communications device, but that is not possible. He has to get to his desk to get to his computer system.
Oh, that's no good.
Good day.
Make sure
Zephyr
you put-
1920.
G'day, Zeph. Make sure you put that communicator into engineering for the chief to have a look at. If you can get one of his subordinates to have a look at that, make sure that
Always something around here.
device is up to scratch before we leave space dock. Yeah, there's always something to fix.
Yeah, I think the only comic I have, and I don't have it with me,
Yes.
it's in storage somewhere, is I have it's a collection of the prequel comics that came out before the 2009 movie, which is a whole nother gripe I have. We'll save for a different episode.
Those earlier
Yeah,
comics,
yep.
pre 2009, though, they had some decent graphics.
Yep. So have you guys got any ready in the novels and stuff? Like some of the old novels and stuff? I got a whole bunch of those as well.
My mother, I do remember my mother had some of the actual, like the proper books, like the paperbacks. So I remember my mother had a bunch of those. She even had a bunch of
the
she
ones
had a
that
bunch of
actually
the,
had the prints in them.
she had a bunch of the old Star Wars and old Star
Right.
Trek paperbacks from when I was a little kid.
Yep.
I remember seeing those.
I read a couple years ago, that like if it involved Spock, I would read it, but
Hell yeah.
I didn't read them regularly.
Brand loyalty.
It's like... Go ahead.
Words.
Well, with all these comics that I've managed to collect, there's literally I had the whole row of this shelf just covered in the comics. So whenever I have a lot of time,
Have you
on
read
my
through
hands,
all of
I
them?
have- No, I haven't even opened them. They're all still sealed. So I'm waiting till I've got the whole lot, and then I can just have a marvelous collection when I move into my new house, and then I can slowly open them up and sit down with a dram and read a film. It's going to be awesome. But I still do have some of the originals. Ooh, here we go. So we got some. I got a whole box of. We got some weird and obscure. You know, you only saw it on screen for like 5 seconds, and you know they make a model of it, which is really cool. half of these I don't even recognise. That looks like a... What is that? Oh, I got another folder. So I have about 10 of these so far. Okay, so what is that?
Wow.
Oh, it's the Parkler one.
collection.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's one of the Parkler vessels. That looks like
Holy crap.
one of the phrases.
I like that. That looks like let's shake it and see.
Yeah, shake it and see type one. This is interesting. It's a shuffle toy. Archer's toy ship. Oh, that is cool.
Oh, I love the reaction. He's like, oh, I didn't even know I had this.
Huh.
Yeah.
What do you not know?
When you've got too
That
much
is
stuff.
pretty cool.
You just
Christmas has come early for
Oh,
the
yeah.
captain, everybody.
Yeah, always. Like yesterday it was whiskey, today it's Star Trek stuff.
Well,
Hey.
make sure we
Trillion
send
stuff.
make sure we send a memo to Mess that first drink's on the captain.
Second,
You'll have to fight me for it. My blood wine is mine.
oh, I'm wrestling you
so
for
does
it.
every ship just have a captain's day like they had the cards day?
Do we have to have Captain's Day?
Yeah, we have.
I have
It
to send
seems
you-
like he's having his right. I think he's having one right now.
I was going to say that's the thing. It's like because
No,
I live near
Yeah,
him,
where's the
I can actually send him whiskey for Captain's Day because I only live a few hours away from him. Please don't convince him that we have Captain's Day because then then I'm going to feel obligated.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Something
It
came
looks
out.
like they got...
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I got something extra. I'm gonna have to show this. That's pretty cool. I thought, that's weird. That sounds like metal. I got this
Oh,
sexy
neat.
lapel
Oh,
pin.
that's
Oh,
neat.
that is nifty.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That is...
Yeah, wear that instead of pips.
Is that a lapel pin?
Yeah! Hell yeah!
That's
That's a
awesome.
lapel pin. What does that say?
Looks like
Let's see
a
if
bottle
it is.
opener,
17001,
Ken.
I can't tell. It's a bit small for a bottle opener.
I know you can get. I know you can get pizza cutters in the same shape.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to have one until it
Yeah.
broke.
That is both
I
awesome
had some of the.
and that's nice.
Whiskey Pilgrim.
So another one.
Good evening, Whiskey Pilgrim.
Oh, good day, with
G'day, Frederick.
yeah.
Oh, Orion Syndicate. Orion Syndicate vessel.
Ooh.
Cool.
Nice. I have a few.
Yeah.
It's about 3 months worth, but I just haven't got it with me.
Is the
I'm just
audio
running
any
out of
better?
room to put it all.
Yeah,
I've got
it's better.
boxes with them all. Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Cool. I can be seen or heard, not at the same time.
Now, so now you can do your briefing.
Old man Joe has to take his dog to the vet for a checkup, so he would join us for a jam. Unfortunately, he is preoccupied.
Roger that.
Yeah. Cheers.
Leave accepted.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Nice. Yeah, is that part one or part two? I remember going back to when I was saying when I was at school and that teacher. I remember when I first saw Best of Both Worlds Part 1 and 2, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And the Borg was so, just an awesome villain. So,
I think the Borg and Khan are some of the most epic villains of any show or movie.
true.
Well, just because of how they challenge you.
And stuff, yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
the Borg Queen was definitely a move in the wrong direction.
I can see that, yeah.
I like I did like the idea. Oh, that's another sexy looking freighter of some sort. Just the idea that they didn't have a leader and they were just pretty much an autonomous
Just the collective. Yeah.
thing. Yeah, giant collective hive that just simulated everything in its presence.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Interesting. They kind of followed that idea through in the Shatnerverse novels, because one of them they actually go to. I think the way they described it was the home planet of one branch of the collective, and was like an actual living planet with a central node, as opposed to a queen leading the collective, which seemed to make more sense. And as far as those novels go, I've read a few of them. I listened to a bunch of the audiobooks. The first three are pretty decent. Ashes of Eden, The Return, and Avenger. They get kind of weird after that. Like, they go to some serious bizarre. It's like, okay, we get it. Kirk's back. You can stop now. Jeez.
Oh, we received communication.
The universe into it.
Oh,
communication
Kirk
from
goes off the
Zoppa.
rails.
Khan with Captain Ahab parallels. They were always awesome, apparently, according to Zoppa.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I know what he's saying. The kind of like Moby Dick comparison.
I was going to say, well,
with
those who
with Khan's
let's
obsession.
explain that for us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I thought Khan was such an
It
amazing
just keeps
villain.
happening.
I mean,
That's
Nice.
That's a beautiful ship.
Definitely.
All right. For
Not the
we
original,
now
but-
have but
Still
anywhere we're
gorgeous.
fluctuating between 13 and 18 current live viewers at the moment. So for those who are new to the channel, welcome. If you would be so kind as to hit that like button and subscribe, you will get notified every Saturday when you have the ability to join us on our little Star Trek geek sessions.
Yeah. Yep.
I have a mountain of cardboard right here.
Save some for next Saturday.
I'll have more. They come every couple of weeks because I'm constantly playing for the
Oh, wow.
Temerian vessel. Another shuttle. Axanar cargo ship. Oh, Axanar. I would so wish that series would have happened.
Captain, so what you're telling me is these packages just keep coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming?
I'm like,
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Thank you, Old Man Joe, for letting us know that you know how to hit that like button while watching on your iPhone. We appreciate your patience.
Cheers.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
so you asked about people's thoughts on the new movies. What about the
Yeah.
original series movies and the Next Generation movies?
I was about to ask, what about the new generation of fans who have only been in it for a few years? What do you think their views will be on the classics, the originals from like '66? They're used to all of that new
I don't think I like it.
explosion special effects. Like, how
Oh
are
dear.
the newer fans like going, do you think, with the original works?
Yeah. I mean, if you
I
look
don't
at
think
it
newer
visually
fans.
wise,
I think the newer fans could like Next Generation a lot, but I think it'll be harder for them to get into original series because of the acting and effects.
I did have a look in the forums yesterday, just because I was really curious about what the primary series that were being spoken about are. Weirdly enough, a lot of people that have gotten into it are only picking up the last few series. They're not really going back to the beginning because they're just like, yeah, I'll put on the first episode and I just can't even finish it because it's just the graphics are so shit. And I'm like, that's the point though. That's where it started. That's where you've got to appreciate its origins. But they don't. Because
don't look at it for the effects. Look at it for the story. I mean, the story was so amazing.
That's it.
And now all you get
Exactly.
is flashy bang bang explosions and wow,
Judge
look at
not
me and
a
there's
piece
no
of art.
substance to it.
That's why it's like I'm
Judge not a
trying.
piece of art by its budget. but by the
Yeah.
content of its production character.
Like, I am trying to get through Discovery, but I am struggling. I am really struggling to finish. I'm really struggling to actually get into it this time.
It's funny because the inverse of why you're struggling is the reason why they're struggling. It's all flash and no substance, where they're all substance and no flash. Like,
I know.
it's funny.
It's fantastic.
It's Star Trek made
It's
by
weird
people who don't know Star Trek for people who don't like Star Trek.
Yeah. Same thing with people from Star Wars now to Star Wars then. It's the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, I'm a diehard Star Wars fan, but it's the Holy Trilogy or nothing, except for The Mandalorian. But now I kind of hate
see, it's really, really weird. I really like
Disney for what they did to Gina Carano and that whole
that's
thing.
dirty. I like The Mandalorian. I really do. But I hate Star Wars. I just can't do it. I've watched them all because I refuse to say I do not like Star Wars. And they'd be like, yeah, but I haven't watched them though. I've watched every single one. And it just doesn't do it for me.
Oh, I feel like I'm the opposite of y'all in that I do not like Mandalorian. I think it has next to no plot because it's just side quest every episode and him being dumb and trusting people he shouldn't have. Like, I could rant so much about it because I kept getting so annoyed at how dumb he was.
I get it. I think the reason
I
I like it so much. Yeah, I think that's the reason why I like it so much is because I also play World of Warcraft and I have a shirt with a little panda bear with a sword and a shield, just saying, "Excuse me while I go off on a side quest." Like,
yeah. That was my thing. Like,
person.
I used to play Skyrim. Yeah, I used to play Skyrim and stuff, and like, I hated having to do like, I wanted the plot, and I hated having to do side quests so that I could have enough money or whatever, so I could do the plot.
I loved Skyrim because of the side quests.
So I was just like, now I have to travel around for hours just so I can get whatever, so I can do the thing that I want to do and find out the story. So Mandalorian trope, but I like Discovery.
They're a beeline to White Brim kind of person.
Yeah.
I feel Mandalorian is the only decent Star Wars that's come out since the Holy Trilogy. It's still very lacking, it's very shallow and thin, but it's the closest thing we've got to decent. Whereas Star Trek, we've got nothing. Since 2009, we haven't got anything.
Jaybird 2023.
I disagree. I like Discovery and I like Picard.
What's everyone's thought of the new series is going to be? You like Discovery and Picard?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
I like them because I feel like they are tackling social issues and some of the deep kind of like things that would be bothering Picard over time and stuff. Like, I think that is actually very quintessential Star Trek. So, like, you're seeing him as a person and him being that diplomat.
All right. Says Jaybird 2023 has just logged on to the chat, which is our Chief Internal Security.
Oh, she's there.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I can see... Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like Star Trek to me.
I haven't watched
tackle
much
those
Discovery.
issues and stuff.
Do you think it's because it's more of an arc as opposed to episodic? Because that's what bothered me was that
yeah, a lot of people didn't like that even when Deep Space Nine did that. I thought it was great because you had more character development and stuff, and you still had... Because it kind of bummed me with original Star Trek, even TNG, when you just get one episode with one thing would happen, and then it was just a new thing the next week, a new species, a new alien, and a new planet. Which is cool, but it just kind of felt in a bottle each episode. No pun intended. The ship in the bottle episode. But anyway,
quite a few people
it didn't allow for a huge amount of... Say again?
Quite a few people who watch SG-1 had the same opinion with the arc when Atlantis came out. Because they hadn't finished SG-1, they just cut like in the middle somewhere and then sent some of them into the Pegasus Galaxy. And we're like, yeah, but we'll continue this here, but you got to only watch a few seasons of Atlantis and then come back down to SG-1 and watch a few seasons here and go back up to Atlantis. And it's like, That's how you lose your crowd.
Stop this. Stop it. No.
Like I actually love the arc in that I love that complexity of a story, but I think one of the nice things about the older Star Treks is that episodic quality of being able to, you just can put on one and you can get the whole plot there and not have to remember like, oh, where is this in the story kind of thing. So it's like they both have their benefits. I just wondered if that was one of the reasons you didn't like Picard and Discovery.
No, definitely not. That I like both, as you say. It's great if you've got an hour and you just want to watch a Star Trek episode. You can just sit and watch it in its entirety and have that nice little bookend episode, and it's great. Or if you want to dive into the arc and go through, I do like either of those. No, it just doesn't have any soul. Doesn't have any essence. It's too flashy. It doesn't have the story and the plot is so stupid. I mean, the things that they come up with just don't make any sonar in space, and Mikey Spock is the savior of the universe, and she killed all these people, but she's still the best person ever.
It's one of the things of even the plots they do try and come up with have no true explorative substance to them.
No, they make no logical sense in any, like, you can just put all your disbelief away of modern, any form of intelligence. They still don't make any sense.
Well,
like sonar in space. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, communications from Zoffa is to remember that sequential storytelling is a more modern storytelling thing, save for the 1950s serial movies like Captain Cody.
Serials. Correct.
Serial movies. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean,
there
with Picard,
there is that to remember.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, with Picard, I'll admit, I watched the first 3 episodes and I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And then I heard about what they did, and then I fell off, and then I heard what they did in the last episode, and I'm like, forget
Adriana
that. I'm not watching the rest of that for that ending. Why?
Yeah, Rogue One was actually good. I didn't mind Rogue One.
Serial.
That's one of the exceptions. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I don't mind Serial.
Good day.
I like Serial.
Also from Zoffa is the Twilight Zone Outer Limits, the anthology show format used to be that way because that's how screenwriting worked.
Yep.
I can say that. Sorry, go ahead.
Cheers, bourbon bikes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that I can say that the new show that's coming out, I think sometime this year, Strange New Worlds, that actually looks like it's gonna be pretty good.
I haven't looked into it, but I've had a few people mention it in passing. What do you know, for those of us who haven't looked too far into it?
What I know is that I believe it's set back on the Enterprise. It's exploring the adventures of the captain prior to Captain Kirk, Captain Pike, who we've only seen. I think we've seen him in Discovery, and other than that, he's only appeared in 2 episodes of the original series.
Have they released cast and crew?
I think
we know most.
They've released some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they've done an announcement of some of the crew.
But
me personally, I've really got no expectation that it's going to be any good. It's still Kurtzman Trek. It's still in that timeline. They're still limited in what they can do with the licensing. I mean, freaking Discovery has changed their uniform more than I changed my underwear. It's ridiculous.
The thing that
they had the communist uniform at the last episode, the end of the last series, and now they got a new uniform. It's like, what?
Communications from our chief of security. Apologies for the mic. I don't think my subspace connection is sufficient for the stream currently.
Hey, I'll be back in a sec. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, turn it off and turn it off again.
That one. Yep. The new show is set straight after Discovery goes into the future. Okay, so Discovery's going to go into the future, and then Pike is going to go, Discovery's disappeared, and there's going to be the adventures of Pike and crew.
Okay. Also, Zoffa, we consume our entertainment in binge watching now. That is very true, which is why Netflix, Stan, Binge, Amazon Prime
Very
are
true.
always uploading like block season amounts.
Yep.
Growing up, we would watch it, and if you missed it, then you had to wait for it to become a rerun.
Good day.
That's what it was like when we were
Yeah,
growing
exactly.
up. You missed it. That's it.
Yeah, it was gone.
They don't
Yep,
have that
that's
now.
exactly right.
You miss it, you can watch it like live within you can watch it again, within 1 to 2 hours online. Like,
Yep.
There was a
Well,
trick
it
back in
was
the
until
day. If you had a good cable package, you could, if you missed the East Coast streaming, you could catch the West Coast streaming. Big brain thoughts.
Yeah, true.
Mm.
But yeah, here in Australia, when it eventually came out, if you missed it, you missed it, and you'd have to wait if they brought it out on a cassette series.
that's it.
Brought it out on the tapes.
That's
Yep.
it.
Or if you got to go to the video store and get them out, which I certainly did with Roddenberry's other show,
Okay.
Brain Fart. Oh shit. Come on, somebody.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of reading communications from Chief of Security.
I missed what you were trying to think of.
Roddenberry's other show, Gene Roddenberry's other show.
Oh.
I'm not on that brainwave.
Something the wormhole.
Andromeda?
Yep. Come on.
Good day.
Yes! Romy, Andromeda, yes.
Silver holds
Yep.
the future.
I mean, I think you also had a police show, but that
I
was
thought that
way
was so
back
cool.
before Star Trek, I think. Right before Star Trek.
Oh yeah, not the police show. Yeah. No, I was talking about Andromeda. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I didn't watch
I thought
that at
was
all.
actually a pretty decent show.
I'll pass on Kevin Sorbo in
I
space.
actually didn't mind it. Oh, I didn't mind Kevin Sorbo in space. I thought he was actually pretty good in that role. I'm pretty chuffed about it. I don't even remember getting that. Anything about this little lapel pin. That's pretty cool. That'll go with my other little collection of pins and badges and other bits and bobs of Star Trek-y stuff. So has anyone else got any show and tell? I think I've done my show and tell for this week. I've got to find somewhere to put all these now.
My main thing.
Yes.
I think Kilko and I are both we wear our Star Trek types.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah.
I gave birth to my Star Trek tribute.
Second.
So I gave birth to my Star Trek tribute.
Pick him up.
I told you I wasn't sleeping.
I don't think you can top that, actually.
For those who that have just joined us, my Star Trek tribute is the fact that my husband's last name is Kirk, my nephew's name is James, my son's name is Tiberius. That is my Star Trek tribute.
Good day.
And if anyone tries to tell me that that is child abuse, you can fight me.
And I'll back you up.
Does he
Can I place
like
bets?
you ever shorten Tiberius to anything?
Yeah,
Do you call him like
at the moment, he just gets like Tibbs or Tibbers because he is incredibly affectionate.
Whiskey
But
encore.
his great grandmother, my grandmother is quite young still. She's only in her early 70s and absolutely, she drinks like a 50-year-old. So she calls him Ty. And I honestly believe that he will get Ty as he gets older because he just seems like that kind of person. And my grandfather calls him Mr. T. So we'll see what he chooses to go with. While my daughter Miranda, who is named after a planet, if you know, you know, she just calls him. She's starting to learn to speak, so she's going to stick with Tibbers, I think. So.
Nice.
She calls him what?
So
She calls
going,
him
going back to what?
Yeah, and it makes me think of League of Legends, Annie and Tibbers.
So going back to the movies,
I was trying not to say it.
original movies.
I was trying not to
what's
say
your
it. I'm so sorry.
So good. Yes, Whiskey Pilgrim. Thank you. You know, well done. Can you also guess why my daughter's middle name is Liana?
Yep. So other than Wrath of Khan, which is the only awesome epic Star Trek movie ever made?
Mm,
What's one of the original ones that you like to watch?
Like of original series cast or also Next Generation?
Yeah. Original. We'll go original ones first, and then we'll go next gen.
Well, from Bourbon Approach, we have Star Trek in 1967. They liked the episode where the somewhat insane Dr. McCoy accidentally changes history, and Kirk and Spock follow him to prevent disaster.
the city on the edge of forever.
Greetings,
Yep.
Chief Medical.
Yep.
No, head nurse and head of mess.
I'm sorry.
Hi.
Master Merce.
Fallacy.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just,
well,
yeah.
Voyage Home was
I
fun.
didn't realize
I didn't
that,
mind Voyage.
Ken posted
I didn't mind
that
it.
link
It didn't
to
even
join a room.
blessings.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries.
And because they had a Klingon birthday.
Yeah. So how do you get into
I was at
Star
Dog
Trek?
Park at 9 o'clock, so that's why I couldn't log in.
Vote to
Me?
motion to.
Oh, me? My gosh. So I've been an original Trekkie, original series since I was a little
Go
kid.
ahead.
And I guess I like
Nope.
all of the series, really, with the exception
How did I
of,
get
like,
into?
Deep
Well,
Space
as I
Nine.
said, my
I
mum
never really got into.
used to watch the original
but-
series, and when I was about 5 years old,
Captain,
remember-
hang on a
I
second.
like
William's
seeing
talking.
Voyager, I like Next Gen, I like the original.
second,
Hang on a second, Captain.
I can't hear
Go ahead.
anything. I can't hear anything.
Captain, can you hear any of us?
Captain can't hear us.
Okay.
I can hear
Cannon's
you.
gone deaf.
You can hear us now?
Sorry, somebody joined and he
Yeah,
was
so-
telling us how he
Yeah, that's William. That is
I can't hear it.
our head nurse was explaining to us that he's one of the OGs from way back when.
Hold on. I think I have.
All right.
But when it comes to the movies, I'd like to say that Star Trek 2 is my favorite movie, The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
That seemed
I think
to be a preference.
I think that's but aside from Wrath of Khan, of the original series movies, are there ones that you go to that you'll rewatch?
There is.
I watch all of them.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, and
Right,
6.
Can I hear everyone now?
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Is that
Yeah.
what you said? Yeah, I can see that.
One I don't
One
watch all
is-
that often, but it's not bad.
One's not bad. It's just they were like they had discovered computer stuff and were just making everything as long as possible.
Yeah, it wasn't even just
let's
confused.
just make
It
those
was that
shots
hey,
of the ship for 4 hours long.
it wasn't even CGI. It was hey, we have an effects budget for the first time, and so they went overboard.
Yeah.
And
it was
5,
just
I think 5 was
approaching the
aged better
ship
than-
and
Yep,
approaching
exactly.
Beaker were just so
10 minutes later,
painful.
are we done yet?
Like, I love you, Spock, but watching you float up to Beaker for 20 minutes is kind of tough.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I get it.
Agreed.
Dramatic effect.
And 5, I think 5 is
I mean-
aged better than people give it credit for. It's still not great, but
Yeah.
I think it's
I
aged
feel like I
better
need to
than people
go
give it
back and
credit for.
rewatch it because it's been so long. But I feel like when I do go back and rewatch it, I'm gonna remember why I didn't watch it for so.
But like,
I plan
alright,
to
this
do,
is
I
what
plan to do that in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
I agree with what
Well, we're gonna
Nigel says because I do a similar thing. I do it maybe once every maybe 2 years. He does it once or twice a
Yep.
year. He will rewatch all movies in order from start to finish. I will do it maybe once every couple of years just to give myself a bit of a break.
I think
Yeah.
we should do it. We should do watch parties where we just.
I agree.
so we
I
can
really do.
two
I
versions.
agree.
With 2 versions. One where we can actually do it in Discord and it's just for senior crew, for example, and we just might sit down and watch one of the movies. And we can have it running in Discord, just in a private thing. The other one is where we do a watch party where everyone else loads it up on their own screen and we say, okay, we're going to start it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. and then we
I
just
think-
talk about it.
I think we just do it on. I think
that.
we do it on Discord mainly because there is possibility of connection issues and as a result, communication issues between crew if we run off individual systems.
Yeah. If you're trying to download,
But if we're
and
just
watch
watching it,
unless
like,
you already
all at
have
the-
it on
if-
DVD.
I would stop
Yeah.
routing power
idea.
to the secondary systems I have in my lab here, but if I do, the orange monster gets out. So it's either voice
Oh.
or video. I'm sorry, it's a sacrifice I make for everybody.
I do it for you.
But yeah, but we could definitely do episodes. I think as well. We can do like if we did some classic episodes, or we did some double episodes, like the Best of Both Worlds Part 1 and 2, for example. You know, they're real awesome episodes. We could do those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Evans in the chat is
Go ahead.
saying, and I'm trying to figure out what he's exactly. I think I know what he's referring to. He says it's the episode on TNG where Tasha dies is very reminiscent of the classic series format, other than the fact that it was really stupid.
Like basically like
True.
a lame weird monster.
Yeah.
of
Also,
color.
that the data romance was really strange.
Yeah,
And
I'm
what
assuming
are
he's
our
talking
thoughts
about
on
her
that?
and Tasha, him and Tasha, which yeah.
Like in the
Yeah,
episode where
yeah.
basically
Fully
they
functional.
get
Awkward.
drunk. Yeah, she like asks if he's fully functional. Yeah,
It was so bad.
you know.
Yeah.
The Data's just like a walking vibrator, apparently, or something.
Essentially.
Yeah, probably.
I was made speaking
Yeah,
of
maybe.
that, and that would, kind of affected that comment about data just now. I was made very aware of an interesting fun fact I realized I needed without actually needing it. Atoms vibrate. Yes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Your vibrator
Yes, to my
vibrates even when
immense
it's turned off.
annoyance.
Yeah.
So if that was data's function, then bravo to Tasha. She chose well.
Oh, I'm sure. But also,
even when he's turned off and she doesn't have to listen to him, it's a win-win.
I have an idea for a new
but also,
invention now.
doesn't it depend? Does it depend on who programmed him?
Correct.
I mean, we know.
You would assume so.
Like, you have to assume Noonien Sung was good at it. To assume.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Technically, Data's better at everything else than Noonien Sung would have been. So, I guess he could have just downloaded programs that would tell him.
Donald rants.
All right.
Oh, Donald, get your ass in here. So I
Yeah.
thought I had to show this.
Mm.
It's a bit covered up, but that's all of the.
I was going to say our Chief Operations
Nine
Officer,
of them.
Lieutenant Commander Rance, has made an appearance.
Speaking of androids,
No, I've heard that for years and years. It's pretty awesome.
as far as the TNG movies go, the first two were okay. Insurrection was a waste of F. Murray Abraham as a villain, and the less said about Nemesis, the better. I don't understand what they were even doing.
Yeah, I don't like Nemesis.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember all of them First Contact was.
It was easily the best of that bunch.
That was the only one that was
Yeah.
actually decent. Yeah.
I
Oh, come
love.
on. What's wrong with
It's
Generation?
probably the most.
I like the ship. That's about
it's
it.
probably the most.
I did like the
quotable.
crew. I did like the crew how they were a bit more relaxed and stuff, and a bit more jokey. I think a bit too relaxed and jokey at times. But I don't know. They just don't have that. Yeah, that
I
was
like
good,
the
but they weren't that good. They weren't as good as the original. I think the original ones were better.
Mm.
I still
The
like
original
them.
movies.
Captain Bourbon
I think that's gonna
his
be-
first ever Lafroig bottle.
Ooh,
Again? What was that?
Bourbon Approach is pouring his first ever Lafroig bottle.
oh,
Oh, what did you
Oh.
get?
good, yeah. Which one? 10.
Also, while we're waiting for an answer,
PX. Can't
While we're
choose.
waiting for
Great
an
for impact.
answer, just another message from our Nightbot is if you do feel so inclined, our Nightbot has just reposted our Patreon link. Please feel free to support. No obligations required.
Oh, speaking of that, I can even put the banner up.
Yeah, I thought you said
Banner.
she was only going to bug us in 50 minutes. She's bugged us every minute since beginning
I know. I'm definitely gonna have to sort that out.
about
I
something.
even
Like
made
just
a
now,
Star Trek banner.
follow us on social media.
Keep the lights on in the ship.
It's been 2 hours already.
10-year-old.
Yeah, the standard tenure
Oh, fair
of
enough.
Lafroig.
Standard 10. Yep. But is it the
JD
American
Bourbon
one
approach,
or
have you
the-
had?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Americans get a high ABV.
Yeah,
Uh,
because we only get the.
Yeah, we
is
don't
JD
get.
Bourbon approach in Australia?
What was
No,
I saying?
he's
No, he's in
all over the
Slovakia at the
world.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's all over
he's
the
in
world.
Slovakia. Yep. And the Klingon in me definitely appreciates Lafroig, Lagavulin, Ardbeg, and Killila, and all those kind of whiskies. I like them.
I don't know. They don't remind me much of prune juice.
That was just Commander Worf. I mean, Lieutenant Commander Worf can have his prune juice. A true Klingon has blood wine.
Blood wine.
But it reminded him of prune
Perfect.
juice.
Exactly.
Wasn't it that episode
But
of Deep Space
humans-
Nine where Nog was bartering things left and right to try and get some part for the station, and he bartered away a Martok's blood wine and then had to get it back before Martok killed somebody?
Yes.
That was funny.
That was the one.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yes. Lieutenant Commander Donald
Oh.
Rance, how is your head, by the way, after drinking like you are an 18-year-old when your android form should not be able to handle that copious quantity?
Yes. It looks like he's a little bit messed up.
And
Juice,
listen, it's up
a
your
warrior's
hair.
drink. That's right. I have to agree.
Oh, boy.
No, I think Worf. Is
You hate
right.
Pete and Scotch.
Yeah, see, bourbon approach with that, I don't like
Back to
Peter
it, trying to
either.
force myself to like it.
Yeah, what I'm doing with that, because I do have the same issue, being a former smoker, I quit like 7 or 8 years ago. It tastes like an ashtray to me, like literally like I've just licked an ashtray. But what I'm doing to acclimate to the taste a little bit better is I'm trying to eat a lot more smoked meats.
Yeah. That's
And I'm getting some cigars and everything sent across because I used to really enjoy smoking a cigar, but my mister and I are down to our last ones, and we're saving that for his next trip home. So I haven't had one in a while. So hopefully, eating some more smoked meats, being around the smell a little bit more by actually smoking our own meat as well. I'll be more inclined to give them a wider variety of smoked and peated whiskies a go, as I did just give my Mr. some Octomores. It would be nice for him. He says if I could partake in them with him. I'm not fussed because it smells like a sweaty gym sock dunked in cigarette water.
Really?
Yeah, that's how you know it's good.
How is that how you know it's good?
Not that bad.
It smells awful.
Have you had a finished Pete?
What do you mean?
I don't know if Octomore is like where it's finished. So like Ardbeg
Like
Udi
Lafroig
is one that I
Triplewood.
really really like.
Yeah, triple.
And
Yep.
yeah.
No, everyone is telling me that the triple wood is the best though.
Oh yeah.
Triplewood's freaking phenomenal.
So I'm not. Look, to be honest, I'm not too sure. I prefer sherry casks. I do prefer my more butter. I do prefer my sweeter and my more buttery scotches.
Yeah, so you
That's the
might
thing.
like.
The Triplewood gives you the peat with the sweet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool runnings.
Cooler running.
Cooler running.
Cooler running.
Cooler
Just
running.
said hey everyone. Cheers.
Cheers. I mean,
Cheers.
Lafroig PX
Don't
is a
worry.
travel only exclusive, but that's a good one if you like. But Oloroso and Lefroy together.
Right.
Good combination.
Ooh.
And isn't
I'll
with the
have to look
Carters
that.
one they just brought out the Bordeaux finish?
I did. Yep.
With the select stuff. I didn't realize what I was cooking with when David and I first got together, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to make my nice smoky whiskey lamb stew. It's a really beautiful Irish recipe, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. Well, this one smells like it'd be good. I'll cook with this. Next minute, I've just poured like a quarter of his bottle of quarter cask in my into my lamb stew pot before I realized what it was. And then I added my pepper and other ingredients, and I almost vomited because it tasted so horrible. So then I had to change and add more specific vegetables to counteract that to fix it. And now if I ever want to make that stew again, because it was so amazing in the end, I have to do the same stupid thing, destroy my stew, then fix it again to get to that beautiful level that I was in where that whiskey is just absolutely perfect. So I still have to bring myself to pouring in a quarter of a bottle of select cask and fuck it up before I can fix it and make it beautiful. And it breaks David's heart.
Is that
Every
a
time you
Neelix
say
style of cooking?
Yeah, that's how I cook. I have to fuck it up to make it good.
Yeah, Neelix style cooking. So here's a fan of
Potatoes
Neelix.
cut a lot, according to Zoffa. Actually, that's what's funny. Bourbon Approach apparently hates all Ardbeg. I hate Ardbeg, all product lines.
Good day.
Well,
Bauer Ben.
who hurt? Well, no one's hurt. There's
Oh,
enough
okay.
in the leg Ardbeg. That's the problem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who's our bartender?
I've only had Lefroy 10, but I definitely like Ardbeg 10 better. Like,
Why
over
is
Lefroy.
okay? Why is that? Because David likes both, but he really likes the Ardbeg. But he always seems to go back to his Lefroy's.
Yeah.
Why do you have that preference?
I just like the balance, I think, on Ardbeg more. Like, I think Lefroy goes a little more into the rubber.
Okay.
And I think Ardbeg, like, maybe the smoke is a little bit more forward. I don't know. I should have them side by side. I mean, I stick to bourbons mostly, so it's not like
All right.
peated's my
Oh, it's
often.
okay.
But every now and then, I'm like, I'm taking a peat.
Yeah. All right. Bourbon
That's
Approach
pretty.
is on the neck pour of his 10-year Lefroy, and here he goes. Do not expect wonderful things from the neck pour. It's just, it is what it is.
Tastes
Alright,
like
so
what it's like.
Tactical Officer we got one vote for Neelix. Neelix was an awesome character.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
What I always do, Bourbon Approach, when I'm trying something new, I will find a way to convince someone else to take the neck pour, or I will just pour it into a glass. I'll pour a little bit into a glass, and then I'll pour again, and I'll drink the second pour, and I'll drink the neck pour after. I just don't find much interest out of it.
JD, just scull the bottle.
Be a man!
make it easier.
You won't taste the thing. You won't know anything about it.
Just get it over and done with.
If you pass out, you're not going to care anyway.
Yeah, just do the Simon maneuver.
Shocking.
So number one, what are you up to? I know you're going back and watching the series. What are you up to at the moment?
Let's see. I think I'm at. Well, I know what I'm at. I'm at. My brain doesn't want to work now. I was nice and quiet, and I think. Deep Space Nine, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. Before Worf or post Worf?
I think Worf just showed up.
Okay.
The Klingon stuff has started all over again.
They've taken over.
His brother recently is not his brother anymore.
Yep. I remember. I know exactly where you're about. Episode 6, season 4, around there. If I remember correctly.
Somewhere in there. I don't keep track. My memory is bad. I remember I watched it recently. I remember what was in it. And that's about it.
All right, so I've got I have access to. I've just pulled the iPad out. I've got access to season 1 Star Trek 1966, 1995 Star Trek Voyager, 7 seasons. Star Trek Next Generation, 7 seasons. That's 87. I only have 1 season of Picard. Was there only 1 season of Picard? There's only been one.
Yeah, there's
release,
only
right?
been 1 season.
One too many.
I think
That was one too many. Why? I haven't sat down and watched it yet.
Disagree.
Explain yourself.
I know.
For me, it took too long for them to get into space, but once they got into space, I really liked it.
So they're 45-minute episodes. There's 10 episodes per season. Please tell me they at least got into space in the first episode.
No, I don't think so. No.
No.
I think it was the 3rd episode that they finally got into space. Yeah. I think. I'm not sure, but I remember being like, when are we going to get into space?
There was the only thing they did, I think, was they blipped about Mars. That's where they were. They started somewhere else, talked about Mars, but it wasn't actually anywhere.
Yeah, they showed what happened on Mars. Yeah,
which made no sense.
The anti-android. Yeah.
Stupid stuff, and flowers and space.
Okay, let's see. So, movie-wise,
I think Picard is very thematic about, like, as in the show, about, you know, immigration and racism and prejudice and stuff. And so I think it makes for, like, a really interesting way of showing some of the really big, hot, current issues. Which is what I like about Star Trek in general.
I was literally going to ask, is that so they can address, they can modernize the show and address the problems of today?
Yeah,
Kurtzman
I
has
think
said
so.
It's
And I
not
think
about the show, it's about a platform for whatever they want to talk about. He even said
That's
that.
exactly right.
Yeah.
But even original Star Trek, you know, would do that often. Many of the episodes were
Yeah, but
about
not rammed it down
addressing
your throat.
certain topics.
They did it. They made you think. They made you think about issues, which I don't think.
I think Picard is made, like, I think if people are thinking at all about immigration issues right now, like, I think Picard helps bring that forward. So I like it.
All right. Movie-wise, I have access to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First Contact, Generations, Insurrection, Nemesis, the first Star Trek, and then I'm pretty sure, like, that's the 2009, and then I'm pretty sure the next 2, they're on, like, Stan or something, aren't they?
No, they're all on Netflix.
Are they on Netflix, are they?
Everything's on Netflix.
I wasn't too sure. So,
Yeah.
so the first Star Trek movie I have access to on my server is The Wrath of Khan. That's 1982.
I mean, that's perfect.
That's the first one I've got. And that's, I was going to say, that's actually a good place for anyone who's new to it. Like, that movie-wise, that is a really good place to start. You're not really missing out if you don't watch the first ever film. It's okay.
Yeah.
And don't bother with the remake Wrath of Khan. I mean, I like.
Look, I love
Benedict
Benedict Cumberbatch. I really
I
do.
do too. And he did play a pretty cool Khan, different style and everything as Montalban.
He made me want to go back and watch The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
yeah,
this left a bad taste in my mouth. Now I need to go watch the real.
Yeah. See, it wasn't so much a negative note left with me. It was more like okay, I've just watched this. Let's go watch the original now.
Well, I was watching it and was enjoying it because I was so excited to see Star Trek. And
I didn't hate
like,
it. I didn't.
Wait a minute.
I didn't hate it.
And it fell on me way before they even hinted at it. It was like, oh my god, they're not going to do that, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. It became more and more obvious, and then he announced it. I'm like, are
Pull
you
up whiskey.
serious? And then they swapped Kirk and Spock and that whole thing like this.
I'm here for okay.
Why? Why can't you write something new? Why do you have to
I agree with you.
Wrath of Khan?
That is the one thing I actually definitely agree with you is the lack of originality in today's film industry. And these 2 films, perfect example. Do not touch the originals. There is no point in doing it. All you're going to do is piss off an entire generation of original fans and supporters. That's all you're doing.
You're
Like,
shitting on what made you able to make a show called Star Trek.
That's
I mean,
it.
what really irked me was with the 2009 film. It was like Man of Steel all over again. It's a great foundation, and then and then you just build X on top of it. What a waste.
Yep.
So just addressing some of our communications really quickly. Rand has mentioned Star Trek 6 was vastly underrated. How can you not like the Klingon general quoting Shakespeare? Question marks. We'll start here. I'll read a few more of them in a moment. But let's start there.
Oh, yeah.
How can you not like the Klingon general quoting Shakespeare?
I love General Chang.
Comments.
Yep. So good. You've never read...
Yeah.
Now, what is it? You've never experienced the real Klingon, the real Shakespeare until
The Shakespeare until you've heard it in the original Klingon.
Klingon, yeah. Unleash the dogs.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean that scene where they're at dinner, it was freaking amazing, General Chang, and yeah, I don't mind that. It was good. And eventually, when the Excelsior comes in and just blows the living shit out of it, I mean that was pretty good.
Also from Co-op Whiskey, that would be my favorite ginger, even though he has a mullet that he needs to shave off. He is here for moral support for Juju and for Kilko Dude, to the fact that I'm a Star Wars guy. And that's okay. We don't hate on people who like Star Wars. There is nothing wrong with liking Star Wars. You can like both or one or the other. It does not matter.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you don't like J.J. Abrams Star Trek or J.J. Abrams Star Wars.
Pretty much as long as you don't like J.J. Abrams,
you're all good.
But do you think, I feel like this is a very common pattern though, of we always like the original version of whatever that we saw. You know, if it's a song and somebody does a remake, people who heard the remake first tend to like the remake more than they like the original because it's the one they heard first. It's that familiarity. So I don't know that you could, no matter who did it, I feel like that's always the thing. It's always the pattern you hear from everybody of like, oh, but the original was better. Oh, you can't redo it because the original was better.
I mean,
like it's.
No, I disagree. I mean, like
I said,
what Chief said, the 2009 movie was an awesome premise to have it in a different timeline with the characters reimagined, and it was. I was really excited. I thought, because when they first announced it, I thought prequel. I got, oh, here we go again. Because prequels always suck. Because you're limited in what you can do, you're restricted, and the stories just never work. But when they did that and they reimagined it and put it in a slightly different Calvin timeline when it came known as, okay, you could do some cool stuff because it's separate. And you got the new characters and you can reimagine it and it's cool. But they just had this great platform, like Chief said, and bang, just completely let it fall into a big mess. Like, they just spewed out everything and they just didn't put it together and into a cohesive thing that was actually well put together, which is a real.
But in a way, your example is saying you could have liked it, but you didn't, right? Like, so is there an example that you have of something being redone that you did like the redo or the like later?
Well, with that, Donald said something on that exact note is the best thing about the remake Star Trek films is Simon Pegg as Scotty. That I know is very debatable with quite a lot of the originals too, mainly because they are stuck in the fact that don't touch my stuff. You know, there are a lot of people I know that have been Trekkies from the go. I'm just like, no, like he's still alive. You got it on it, just don't touch it. Go do something else. Don't touch my things. I was like, but he didn't do a bad job. Like Simon Pegg, amazing, and he should get credit.
I didn't mind the characters.
What he did.
I didn't mind the characters.
Yeah, like it's the exact same thing though. Perfect example on a completely different platform for film is Will Smith as the genie in Aladdin. He did not try to be the old genie that was Robin Williams. He didn't try to be Robin Williams. He was his own genie, and people didn't give him a chance, which I think the new generation of Trekkies, they prefer Simon Pegg because they don't know any different, because they're stuck in the fact that I don't want to watch that because of bad graphics. While the original Star Trekkies, who will not get out of their comfort zone and accept change, don't want to watch the new ones because it's just not the same and I just won't move, you can't make me. And then there's us that are in the middle ground. That's it. There's us that are in the middle ground that are just like, just watch it, dude. If you don't like it, there's nothing wrong with that. But at least give it a go.
Yep. No, I like the platform they built and I like the characters, but the stories were just shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm
going
just
back
saying
to
it's a pattern for anything. It's a pattern for anything.
Because
like
Babylon
songs,
5,
movies, whatever.
I mean, not Babylon 5. Battlestar Galactica. I grew up with the original series, absolutely loved it, and
I only just started watching
the new
that,
one. Yeah, a few episodes I was like, oh no, you can't do that to Starbuck. But now, I'm a big fan. I love that series. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely big fan of it. So I like both. They're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And because it was written by someone who knew how to write Star Trek and Babylon 5, I mean, Battlestar Galactica, he knew what he was doing. And we know who that is. So if we had someone like him writing new Star Trek, or, you know, someone who can actually write decent stories, that was the problem. Everybody they've got on the new movies and the new series, they can't write. You look at their lineage, they've got no sci-fi background. I mean, a couple of them were like Gilmore Girls and stuff. It's like, that's not sci-fi.
That's it. It's just, you've got to, what Co-op has said, I do agree with. You know, we like the originals, unless the remakes, you know, they do transform it. They make it into something new. They make it into their own thing. They've got to make it different, not just a cookie cutter movie, which is what we were just discussing about The Wrath of Khan. It's like, don't do it. Make something new. Yep. You have
started really cool.
You've got so many script writers and everything that are busting their asses for work these days. Give someone a go.
You've got so much content out there already.
That is it. There's already so much pre-existing content.
Yep.
Work with it.
You don't have to invent the wheel.
I wonder, though, if part of the problem there is the attempt of making something new that like newer fans will like in that kind of style, but also hoping that by using things of familiarity, people who are fans, I think there's a common idea of like, oh, if we get to see, you know, these people again and these sort of similar things, then it's like a fun drawback, like, you know, like drawing them back to their ties of what they originally liked. Like, I agree in that, like, come up with a new plot. Like, I think, you know, the first of the new Star Wars movies was just a remake of the original Star Wars kind of thing. And it was like, it's the exact same
the lure
plot.
of nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're trying to use that to really, like, make both sides happy, but instead it just becomes annoying because you're like, no, I already saw that story. Like, I was looking for a new story. I loved that con.
The lure
I
of
didn't
nostalgia
need a
is
new
already
con.
there with
And a
it
new
being
villain.
called Star Trek, and you've got the characters. It's already there.
Yeah.
That's the allure.
Yeah.
You've already got our investment into it. Now give us a new story with those characters and how you want to tell them with those characters, the different way you want to interpret it.
That's just it.
Not
From
rehash.
William Chapman in the chat, storylines can go almost anywhere now since the introduction of Nexus in Next Generation. In Generations.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I have
idea
not
that-
seen a lot of. I haven't seen very little of Discovery, but I can tell you exactly what I did see that made me go, no. And it was one, the absolute idiocy of the ship itself, the way they designed that spore drive, so the whole thing rotates. It's like, what is this, like Carnival? What are you doing?
Mushroom Network.
Look, I watched enough to figure out exactly the go with the spore drive, how it all works, and now it's in Old Mate, and I'm just like, I think they've gone a little too far to reach an audience that is too picky. Because now they're demanding the best of everything, and the creators are trying to give them everything, and it's turned into Discovery.
Yeah,
there is a lot of that. They are trying to build an audience.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to create an audience
Star
out
Trek
of
was
nothing.
a huge franchise. Star Trek was a huge franchise.
Yeah.
And but it was very niche. It was for kind of cerebral type people. You got your Star Wars fans who just want a big space battle, and that was it. And your Star Trek fans
We
who
want to watch
actually,
shit explode in
think
space.
about
That was
stuff.
literally all Star Wars was.
Yeah, they want to think about stuff and actually have some kind of, internal dialogue or discussion with someone sitting next to them about what they actually saw. And it made you think, and it was an awesome thing that could happen to humanity in the future. The optimistic outlook of the human species, where the new Star Trek doesn't have that. It's all doom and gloom and miserable. It's, the burn? What?
Mm-hmm.
That simultaneously, all at once, that all the dilithium just... because some kid had a tantrum?
Yeah, but that kid having a temper tantrum could mean stops. Like, that's just the way they see it now. It's all about the minority. Pleasing the minority.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, but it's just... They covered out in original Star Trek, but they did it well. It wasn't rammed down your throat with some stupid... The basis of the stories and the science fiction part was based loosely in some kind of form of reality. Was this stuff, sonar in space and tantrum, dilithium matrix, simultaneously all over at the same time in space, and the stupid mycelial network, there's no basis in reality for that. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't work.
The second clip that turned me off and completely turned me off of it, and you could probably chalk this up to me being an old school fan who's being a stick in the mud. But it was the scene where Sarek forced mind melts somebody, and I know we've seen that in Star Trek VI, but it was done for a specific reason, and that's I think the only time we've ever seen it. Huh?
Didn't he do it that remotely? Wasn't that remotely? Mind melded someone remotely? Wasn't that in the Discovery?
Well, that was with Michael at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it was remote.
That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about it was when I think the Enterprise showed up after they came back from the future or something, and they boarded Discovery and force mind melded with the captain. And it's like, okay, you just shit over everything Mark Leonard ever did as Sarek, because Sarek would never do that ever.
No, that's
he didn't want to do it. It's just that the passwords, the captain's brain password was just password, so it was so easy. He just had to do it.
At this point, I'd rather watch the original animated series.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
Which nobody ever talks about.
Yeah. Same writers. I know exactly. Same writers, actors. It was actually pretty much the same. It was original Star Trek, but just animated.
Oh, I
mean, it was cheesy as hell, but come on.
Really?
No, that hurt. Like, that was the one that it was just like so painful. No.
Communication from our chief operations officer.
But I think
one of my favorite Star Trek
series.
About the
new animated one, Lower Decks. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Just from our chief operations officer. One of my favorite Star Trek series was Enterprise. It showed the best of what humanity could achieve in a short amount of time if we actually put our minds to it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people poo-pooed when it came out with Enterprise, but now we'd all kind of crave for something like Enterprise because it's closer to Star Trek than what we've got.
Well, the original ensemble cast of the original Star Trek did a very good job at incorporating race and species without making it painful. It was really groundbreaking. That's from Jacob.
Exactly. Yep.
Jacob.
Exactly.
So that was then. And Co-op Whiskey, John is being a smartass. What about Galaxy Quest?
Well, here, speaking of Galaxy Quest, the Orville. I mean, personally, I think what he's done with that series is more akin to Star Trek than modern Star Trek.
Yeah?
I don't watch that.
Thoughts?
I've heard it's good.
I was going to say, I've
Yeah.
read about it. I just haven't brought myself to watch it yet.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Kilko?
I have not. I know of it, and I think my dad watched some of it, and I've heard good
I
things
know.
through him.
I think my mother has watched the Galaxy Quest, so I'd have to check in with her tomorrow and ask.
I've seen Galaxy
Yeah,
Quest.
I've seen
I mean,
it
that's
years
a
ago. I've
hilarious
seen it.
movie.
It was fun.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's
Galaxy
just a
Quest
fun
was an
parody.
awesome parody. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
an
like-
awesome
Yeah,
parody. But
it's a fun
Yeah,
parody.
the
even
Orville
Donald Galaxy
really
Quest was a
has-
fantastic parody.
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
Chief
I know.
Yeah, but it sounds like
tactical. Yep, Orville's great.
yeah, that's what I've heard. That it sounds like it kind of started to be, you know, with the purpose of this kind of parody, but Seth MacFarlane is like a big Trekkie, and I've heard that it's actually like very, very solid and Star Trek like. So I need to check it out.
It is.
But,
Yep, really good stories.
But
And
I
like
like
you were
the
saying,
new
like you
shows,
like
so.
some of the new stuff that they addressed. They addressed the social media episode. It was so well done.
hmm
Highly recommend you watch
Mhm.
that one. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. That sounds cool.
Yeah, and they've
Yeah.
covered some really cool stuff, and it's really well done. More akin to how true Star Trek would address those kind of things
Well,
without.
apparently Galaxy Quest is free to watch on YouTube right now, according to Co-op.
Oh, wow.
Nice. No, I think overall.
I wonder
it's
if you feel
definitely-
like
Go ahead.
Picard is ramming it down your throat because it's like an arc, and so that theme is the theme throughout the whole season, right?
No,
like in
I
original
just-
Star Trek, if it dealt with an issue like that, it dealt with it in one episode. It didn't really deal
No,
with
it's
it
not. It's
throughout
not the
the whole
issues.
season.
The issues don't bother me. It's just the stupid plot, but nothing makes any logical sense. Like she was
That they're
created
using
from
it
DNA.
just as a, yeah.
Yeah, Data didn't have any DNA. He was a freaking android. He didn't have any DNA.
Yeah, I was
It's,
talking
that.
about
it's just that it's incredibly conflicting with what already exists.
Yeah, but just basic things like that, and sonar in space, and that an
Really,
AI
stuff on
wanted to
sonar.
destroy an AI because it was an AI, and it just doesn't make any sense. Just make the science fiction make sense, and I could actually, kind of enjoy it. But it's so stupid.
Yeah, I was talking with my brother, and he had a good point, which is you can have Picard tackle social justice issues. Christ, go watch the Next Generation. He did it constantly, and he did it with grace and wit.
All day, every day. Yeah.
The problem with
Definitely.
one of the big issues with Picard is it's like, yeah, you're having him tackle the social justice issues, fine. But at the same time you're doing that, you're taking Data's legacy and putting it through the paper shredder for
I
no
think
reason.
that's because that's just it. They're focusing too much on manipulating the series to appease to all the social justice warriors of today. And they don't care about the substance in the actual episode as long as they get the modern day message across. I think
And
that's the
Kurtzman
problem.
has said that he said that this is a platform.
Yeah.
This is not about science fiction and making you enjoy a show and make
Yeah.
you think. It's about pushing their agenda.
Yeah. Nigel Hayes or Hines. Sorry, my apologies, Nigel. Nigel Hines says Picard is law breaking, same as Discovery.
Yep. Whereas the movies, they didn't break the law, which I appreciate. They were shit because they were crappy stories, but they paid homage to the characters in a new light, and they still held to canon, even though it was an alternative timeline. They didn't break canon. I mean,
I think
if
we're
they
just
called
gonna
it, if they,
agree to disagree.
I
You'll
totally
never
agree, but it is
convince
good
me.
to know that.
Okay. Question
I mean,
from.
it seems like you're the exception out of all of us, which is fine.
How can you hate? Well, no, Kilko also enjoys Picard, but how can you hate a show that has a ridiculously adorable Pitbull as number one? Come on, and he should have been on the ship. That's what I'm mad about for Picard. Why did he not?
I need a
You
little
have
bit
your
more.
priorities right there. In that case, I support her. I haven't watched it yet, but I already support her because she has her priorities right. Where is the pity? Where is it?
I agree.
Yeah,
Number one
he
was
needs
pretty
to
cool.
be
You
more.
cannot
I need a
introduce.
bit more.
You cannot introduce a character development of that level that appeases such an amazing section of the population, and then just be like, nah, screw it. That's it. You're getting like 3 episodes. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an add-in.
question from our Chief of Operations. What is everyone's favorite Star Trek episode from all series? His favorite is In the Pale Moonlight from DS9. Such a fantastic episode. So I do know there is a lot of series. Okay, there are a lot of episodes to go through. I personally do not have a favorite episode, mainly because for me to do that, I would have to sit there and rewatch everything all over again, and that's just I'm not. I have kids. That's not happening. But if you have a favorite episode, what is it?
I mean, one's like The City of Edge Tomorrow. Trouble with Tribbles. Both versions. Like I like the original one, and I like the DS9 remake. I thought that was well done. Obviously, yeah, In the Pale Moonlight. Add to the Board Game is pretty cool. It was a pretty fun episode. The Inner Light, you gotta have that. The Inner Light was so.
That's my dad's favorite. That one is so good. Yeah.
I mean, that every time you hear that tune, it just, it gets you every time.
All right. Ben, sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Ben Demon Hunter, if you would be so kind as to stop pissing off the Nightbot, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
What? What's Nightbot doing?
He got timed out for.
Ben Demon Hunter has received a spam caps warning because he's pissing off the Nightbot.
Oh, well, that's fine. Nightbot will slap him around.
But then I have to watch her get all up in my fucking face, and I don't want to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes. So again, another one from Nigel. DS9 episode, The Search, Part 1.
Oh, yep. Damok. That was a good one. TNG.
I like Measure of a Man.
So many good episodes. Yeah, Measure of a Man. Warrior Part 1 and 2.
Appearance of the USS Defiant.
Love the Defiant. It's sitting on my desk. The Defiant.
Apparently he's Canadian, he can't help it, but he's sorry, eh?
I'm sorry, eh?
Sorry, eh?
Gee, thanks, Ken. Well, yeah, sorry, but Nightbot will slap you.
Do you have a character that you really dislike?
Yes. One that really bugged the hell out of me. Like, Neelix was kind of... Most of the time I didn't mind Neelix, he was pretty cool. Sometimes he kind of bent me up the sideways a bit, but that freaking... That woman, I can't remember her name now because I've tried to block it out of my memory. In DS9, it was the Bajoran... what was her...
Oh, Kira.
No, not Kira.
Major
Norris.
Kira.
I like Kira.
Okay.
Major Kira was awesome. No, the Bajoran...
You talking about the priestess?
Woman. Yeah.
Kai Wynn?
Oh.
I think.
Kai Wynn?
Oh, really?
Kai Wynn? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kai Wynn made you love to hate her.
Yeah. She just drove me out the wall.
Oh.
I don't know why.
For me, it's Wesley Crusher.
It's just...
I can't stand Wesley Crusher. I freaking hated him.
I want a Wesley Crusher action figure.
I mean, when I watched him when I was a young lad, I didn't mind him. He was all right.
I listened to him narrate audiobooks on Audible.
It's funny because like I like him. I like Will Wheaton now, and like, you know, he does a lot of interviews and stuff kind of thing, and I like him. But growing up with him as like little Mr. Goody freaking two-shoe and super genius and whatever, and it's like it's like having that older brother who's like so good at everything.
That's fantastic.
And then you're just like,
Gene Roddenberry did say that Will Wheaton was his little protege.
Quill Wheaton.
That was him. Yeah.
Quill Wheaton. Yeah, I
Donald Rance, Kai Wynn. Yeah.
I just finished listening to, here we go guys, just a quick little, not actually sponsored by Audible by the way, but yeah, if you do subscribe to Audible, you'll get your first month free, and I do suggest you use your first free month to download The Martian by Andy Weir, narrated by Will Wheaton.
Bill Keaton.
Yeah, I know.
That would be
I
a
did
good
see
one.
that.
Yeah,
It is
I've got the book.
amazing. It legit makes you.
it is a good book.
If you have watched the film with Matt Damon, it makes you like. Matt Damon. I'm so sorry.
Read the book, seriously. Read the book.
I haven't
What
read the
book?
book. I don't have it yet. But I watched the film, love the film. I must have watched it like 8 times now. Listen to the book,
Yeah.
we'll listen again, because Will Wheaton, just the way he narrates the book, fantastic. Really fantastic.
Number
So
one,
I do
I am
suggest
very much sponsored
get
by
it.
Audible. Nice.
Somebody in the chat said
literally am.
Reginald Barclay.
Oh, that's
was
awesome, man.
The one that they
Oh.
couldn't stand.
Just saying Audible should totally like sponsor you now.
How do you know?
Nice. I mean, my
What's
father
wrong
makes
with Reginald?
audiobooks and puts them on Audible, so
Pardon?
Yeah.
How do you hate
My
I
Barkley?
father-
like Reginald.
Brian,
wrong
say
with
that
Barkley?
again about your dad.
my father makes audiobooks, and that's part of how I got into whiskey to begin with. Is we recorded Fred Minnick's book Whiskey Women, and then you can find it on Audible. So technically, everything I've done ever since about whiskey is sort of sponsored by Audible.
That's really cool.
Fair enough.
That's awesome.
Fair enough.
All right, we've had a few bits of communication pop in. Ben Demon Hunter grew up on Next Generation and likes Deep Space Nine. Burr Ben says Will Wheaton stinks. Thank you, Burr Ben.
No,
That, like,
Not him personally. Wesley Crusher stinks.
I was like,
Yeah.
Ben
Always
Demon
remember to
Hunter,
separate the actor from the character, please.
Yeah,
so
I feel
says-
really
Yeah,
bad for Will
exactly.
Wheaton.
let's see. Are there trolls
No,
in Star Trek
Barkley
from
didn't
Ben
save the day
Demon
in Deep
Hunter?
Space Nine. He saved the day in Voyager.
But yeah, so
Closing it on the 15-minute mark. Yes,
What
correct.
do we
We are
got?
closing officially in 0100 our time.
yeah.
Communication breakdown.
I think it's funny
and
how much.
somebody said,
I think it's
appreciate the correct pronunciation of Will Wheaton. Yeah.
It's because we care.
Yes.
We do
I think it's
try.
funny that Barkley is like a divisive figure. Some people love him, some people hate him.
Correct.
I
The
didn't
same with
realize
Neelix.
that was a
It's
big-
really
Neelix
just
is
flip of
something
the
I like.
coin if you need someone who loves or hates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, does everyone know about what happened to Kess, the actual person? I can't remember her name who played Kess.
Oh,
on
yeah,
Voyager?
Jennifer Leanne. Hmm.
Yeah,
No, what
man.
happened?
Out of all the Star Trek people that have ever played Star Trek, she's the one that really went off the deep end
Yeah.
What happened?
in a bad way. Look it up in your own time. Yeah, not a good story. What happened to her?
Oh.
She really went on the deep end.
Like
Yeah,
Amy,
it's a shame.
Amy Winehouse level, or
like she kind of she
Drugs,
basically
alcohol.
washed out of acting after Star Trek, and
Yeah, really went
let's say
down there.
drugs and bad decisions happened.
okay.
Yeah. Yep. Which was a real shame.
Yeah.
Short version is substance issues.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what's yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's on her way to getting herself sorted out. It was a real shame. So, what is anyone looking forward to the rumors of the new movie?
Oh, Star Trek 4.
I can even know.
Yeah, supposedly it's back on. I'm not holding my breath
Yeah.
because it's gone back and forth like 4 times. If it comes out and it
Now
looks
the-
decent, I'll see it.
Yep. Now that we've had the
Although I'm gonna see
remerger, are
three
you
for it.
thinking that Star Trek is ever going to get back to its former glory? Now that Sycom, CBS, Paramount is all back together again?
I don't know. I think it's too late.
Mm,
I think it's
Well,
too late. I think
Kurtzman, the shit stain, has already still got his contract, I think.
I get it. Look, I get
Yeah.
it. I think it's too late because of where we are today, with the minorities being as loud as they are. A lot of them are already saying they want to try and cancel the first like freaking 10 to 15 years of Star Trek because it's irrelevant in the modern day. But that's cancel culture. Yeah, it's cancel culture. It's the way cancel culture is working. It's like if it doesn't align with the minority views right now, then it's done. It's out. So I honestly don't think any new production is going to recover the substance of the past. I don't have that. I just don't have that faith.
I think Star Trek could definitely come back in a big way if they don't appeal to the mass market, which is what they've been trying to do, because it's never for the mass general public. It never was, it never has been. And if they go back to their roots and do what Gene Roddenberry's vision was and get some actual decent writers and stop trying to appeal to every person under the sun and just write some decent science fiction, I think we'll be back in. And once we get rid of Kurtzman, once his contract is up, and we actually get someone decent in there, like that rumor that came out where Seth MacFarlane might have a rumor of buying the license of Star Trek, and we're like, oh my god, that would have been so amazing. We would have actually.
It would have been.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's going to happen though, because shareholders, everyone wants to appease the shareholders.
Well, there is no shareholders for Star Trek.
Aren't
They're
there?
funding it themselves. No.
After
the first episode of Discovery. No, after the first series of Discovery came out, when they sold it to Netflix and they sold the contract for the 3 seasons, I think it was, Netflix went, nope, we don't want to borrow this, and that's why Picard went to Amazon, because Netflix told them to go shove it. They got absolutely no... Yeah, and they've absolutely got not a single product on the shelves for Discovery or Picard, that's where they make all their money, is on all the merchandise. They do not have a single license for any of the new Star Trek stuff. It's gone completely down a shitter. And they're having to they are bleeding money in something chronic. They're having to fund it themselves because no one wants a bar of it. Yep. They literally gave it to Netflix to get their distribution. And the rating, when they put the first series of Discovery out onto the normal terrestrial television, is appalling. Like, disgustingly appalling on the ratings. Just getting obliterated by reruns of shitty quiz shows. It's absolutely atrociously bad how it's doing. So,
I think the key mistake that Paramount and CBS made was, remember, Enterprise went off the air in 2004. And at that point, there were no new movies, and they were done with TV. And they should have let it rest for a decade on both sides. Yep. Because Enterprise at the end, obviously they started figuring out the writing at the end, but by that point it was too late. It had already been abandoned by the fan base.
Yeah.
And what they should have done was taken a decade off, let everything settle, let it recede back into the background, and then come back. And they took 5 years off and came back, and instead of coming back gradually, they just rammed it all down everyone's throat.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't turn around without going, more Star Trek. It's like, really?
Yeah, and that's the main problem. More Star Trek. It's been too much Star Trek. And what happened back when Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and Enterprise, it was too much all at the same time. That's what killed it back then. And then, because Des Moondays was a complete piece of shit because he hated science fiction, hated Star Trek, and that's why he cancelled Enterprise. And and he gave the contract to Kurtzman. Anyway, we won't get into that. But the whole thing of when they bought out the movies, where they were trying to appeal to the mass market and make money off it, which was the Paramount license, that wasn't CBS. They're two completely different licenses after the split, but they had to have it completely different and everything had to be changed because they couldn't have the licensing because of the products. Anyway, we won't get into that. That's another episode. But then they bought out the series, which was a completely different license again under Kurtzman and Bad Robot. They're the ones that had the license to make the Star Trek stuff. And they pushed it out, but they pushed out way too much. They decided to do Lower Decks, and then they were going to do Section 31. They've done Discovery, they've done Picard, they've done this, they've done that. They're just spewing it out, trying to make something stick to the wall, and it's not appealing to anybody. There's only very small minorities that are actually getting appealing to it. It's not making any revenue. They're bleeding money. Where they just consolidated to one series, and like you say, spend some time on it, do it properly, and then you might be able to do another series in a few years' time. Not, it's so much now. It's just diluted verbal diarrhea that they're just spewing out, and it's not appealing to, it's not working. It really isn't.
Really
They need
quickly,
one series.
Nigel Hines has mentioned that Quentin Tarantino is still trying to do his R-rated Star Trek. What do we know about that, guys?
No,
It's dead
that
as
was
far
all
as
pretty
I
much
know.
rumor. Yeah, that was never even realistically going to get off the ground. There was a bit of an
Yeah, that would
interview
just be
him
weird.
talking about Star Trek and what he wanted to do with it. The media got hold of that and went, "Oh, he wants to make a movie. He wants to do Star Trek." And pretty much most of it was propaganda stuff trying to push it forward. It was all like a hot air, realistically. Yeah.
Right.
Thank God.
Do you say thank God?
I heard about. Yeah.
Second?
To me, that would very much be like not Gene Roddenberry, not true Star Trek at all.
Well, that's why Jim Morris has called it Swear Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be trash. It would be trash. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing against Tarantino. I love his stuff.
I can't say off the top of my
Yeah, but like stay in that lane. Like Quentin Tarantino has a lane. He
I
makes
was
good
gonna
stuff
say-
for that lane.
I was gonna say, I
That
can't
lane
say
is
off
not
the
the
top of my
Star
head
Trek
a
lane.
film in this lane that he's even tapped into. Like, I don't understand why he would want to. Like,
Yeah, it makes zero sense for him to be involved.
Is it just
Yeah.
was that just a potentially money hungry thing, or just a shits and giggles kind of thing? Do you reckon?
No, he's a bit of a Star Trek fan, and he said that he
Really?
doesn't like the direction that Star. Yeah, that's what he was saying in the interview. He doesn't like what, and he said, "I want to make a Star Trek, and I'd do this, this, and this," and pretty much saying, loosely interpreted between the lines, what they've done to Star Trek now is they've fucked it, and I want to make it properly. That's what he's
right, okay.
in his style. Yeah.
From
Exactly. Michael
David,
just said
so-
Tarantino is a massive Star Trek fan. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Right
apparently,
the wrong.
Orville was the most loyal Star Trek reboot, and is still very unknown, according to Jay.
Yep, I totally agree. Orville is, like Seth MacFarlane, is a big Star Trek fan, and he's done a really, really good job in that series.
Okay.
He really has really good stories, really good. It's just so well done.
Captain, I
I think
would
this
like
should
to
be,
say we are at a tentative 5-minute mark for how long this should go or could go. I'm not going to tell everyone to stop, but as
Correct.
far as the briefing slot, because we're all over the globe and some of us it's late and some of us it's early, I know you're not exactly
Correct.
prone to being like, on time, we're ending it. But I wanted to throw that out.
No,
there.
I was gonna make. We're gonna make this official. It's gonna be 2-hour stints each time, and then we'll have 10 forward after lounge if anyone wants to kick back and we can talk Star Trek.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And we can just hang around here in the background.
How are you going down there in the bio lab, Cadet?
Second?
Fourth year cadet has just decided to pop up. I'm just asking how he's going down in the
there he is.
bio lab with his experimentation, and if he's following
Oh,
the
yeah, what-
athlete guidelines.
Yes, and make sure that it's all.
Oh, you're the one I've got to keep my
quarantine
eye on.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
he's
keep
the one
those
you have to put your
force
eye
fields,
on.
I think medical, science, engineering, all going to be keeping an eye on him.
All I have to do is make sure. I just need to make sure all of the paperwork is filled in correctly for his experiments, which is going to come and bite me in the ass because I feel like he's going to leave stuff out to try and get it snuck under the radar.
And correct. Donald Brents just said Seth MacFarlane is a nameless engineer in Enterprise. He
Yep.
was.
Yeah.
We'll be doing
No,
random
I'd love to see
inspections
him.
of that cadet's lab.
Yes.
I don't know where that art came from.
That's right.
I'll send you an inspections checklist tomorrow so you've got it handy.
Perfect.
All right, crew.
Everything's
I
up
think that was an
code.
awesome little discussion. And we'll
Successful
put up a
voyage.
poll for what the next episode will be about. You know, we'll have a topic of some sort, and then we'll kind of steer ourselves within the kind of the loose path of that discussion thread without getting a little too off topic. Yeah, any thoughts? Lasting thoughts before we close it out? You can go to 10 forward and have a few drams.
Live long and prosper.
Don't forget to check out the Discord for the people who are in the chat.
Yes, everyone in the, that's right. Yeah, I need to put a thing up for that. Everybody who wants to join in on this awesome Trek Whiskey show, jump onto. I do miss Data and Geordie. Yeah, that was a good little bro-manship. Yes, jump onto the Discord. The link will be Nightbot would have put the link up. If not, I'll put it up, and you can go onto the Whiskey Track and jump in and have the fun with the rest of us with the fidelities.
And also for those that are new to the channel, please do not forget to hit that like button. Do not also forget to hit subscribe. When you do hit subscribe, if you do wish to get notifications for when we are going live, you can set reminders when you go to the channel. You'll see a thumbnail that will direct you on how to do that. Do not forget to turn on the notifications when you subscribe. It'll be in the shape of a bell.
Ding! Make this sound.
Awesome.
Perfect. Oh, I love that noise. That noise pleases me so much.
Yeah, me too.
In a way that is just, it's almost inappropriate.
Well, you know what it is on our ship? When you got the normal Star Trek, when you had the boop, boop, boop button sound and the communicator sounds, this
I love it.
is our sound. So we can make the communicator sound a.
That is a nice.
Make it a cork pop.
That would be perfect.
Yep, and then the combat will be a lower frequency sound of the Glencairn.
Good day.
Fantastic.
Urban Baller.
Yeah. Where's all the crazy outfits? Coming. Eventually.
On the way.
I mean, I'd
All right.
but I'd have to stand up here to see it.
That's all right. It is about to. It has just turned 1 captain.
Correct. So we'll close it down and we'll make our way to 10 forward and we'll have a few drams and continue the discussion.
Right.
Awesome. See everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Live long and prosper. And done. That's it.